ticky-tack fouls, and again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job.
The women have a league. As far as I understand, it's mostly women without penises, but I leave that to you to figure it. Well, it's actually a little unclear because this Britney Griner, a lot of people think she's a dude. But in any event, Britney Griner is a black basketball player who some people think is a man. I don't know. I guess she's a woman. Let's just say she's a woman. Here's a chick, a black chick. And then, of course, there's Caitlin Clark. And everyone knows Caitlin Clark. She is and Britney Griner is a fine player, I suppose. We'll get to that in a minute. But Caitlin Clark is an absolute all-star. She is the Michael Jordan of this. This is the girl that girls have been waiting for forever to elevate WNBA to the point that guys might start talking about it and going, boy, she really is something else, her level of skill. What has happened to her in the last 2 years since graduating college is that she has been abused repeatedly. We have shown you videos just getting elbowed, getting crushed, inbound passes where they ram into her, just absolutely abused, and there clearly is a racial element to it. Here is Britney Griner elbowing Caitlin Clark in a crazy way and then calling her a trash white girl.
Fouled out, had 6, and it was the ticky-tack fouls, and again, Caitlin Clark doing a little bit of an acting job. Not sure if that was actually a foul, but again, that's for the ticky-tack fouls that we were talking about earlier today.
All right, so she wants to be seen. She knows the cameras are on her. Trash white girl. She wants to be seen saying that. Now imagine if Caitlin Clark had said trash freaking black girl. Like, what would be happening right now? Also, the way she sets the pick, some people are cheap and whatever. You don't set a pick and just throw an elbow up like that. That is not what you do. But okay, fine. Caitlin might have acted there a little bit, but she's just getting abused. Now, you might know the name Britney Griner because Britney Griner was the one that went to Russia with some weed and got stuck in jail. And then the Obama administration traded this guy. Putin's merchant of death is back in the arms business, this time selling to the Houthis. Do you realize how insane this is? Russian gun runner Victor Bout was traded in 2022 for U.S. basketball star Britney Griner. Do you realize how leave that picture up. So that man right there, we had him. He was a gun runner who was sending stuff to the Houthis who have been bombing our shipping routes, and now we've been bombing them, and they've been lobbing rockets into Israel. We traded him back for Britney Griner to get Britney Griner, who did... you cannot bring weed into Russia. You just can't. That's just how it is. But we traded her. We got her back for the guy who's bringing the weapons to the Houthis who we're now bombing. Like, this must be a simulation. It's so ridiculous you can't make it up. Anyway, then check this out. So there's this other girl in the WNBA. Her name's Angel Reese. And if Caitlin Clark is the Michael Jordan of this thing, she's up there. I don't know what you want to consider. I don't want to compare her to an NBA player because she's kind of an unpleasant person, and she does strike me as racist and dirty. So she's just up there. She happens to be black. Again, I don't care, but she seems like a dirty player. So here, check this out. This is an image that she reposted. And the implication is, what it says at the top is white, this is how they say girl, G-Y, white gal, G-Y-A-L, running from the fade, like as if Caitlin Clark is basically a no pun intended, and doesn't want to get involved because she's getting smashed all the time. And Angel reposted that. Fade means to get knocked out. The story, again, it's just the reason that these things are important, you might not care about them, is just because this little thing where we should just pit each other against each other because of race, and we elevate some people because of this race and denigrate some people because of this race, it's just not good over time. And if for no other reason, if you are a female basketball fan, a female sports fan, you want to elevate your best, right? You don't want to take the person. The NBA was something in the 70s, right? And then there was the ABA first and then the NBA. And then suddenly there was this rivalry between Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. And there was an ethnic component to it in that Magic was flashy and he was black in Los Angeles and Larry Bird was from Indiana, played in Boston. It was thought of as more white and blue collar. But it was always about who was the better basketball player. And there were plenty of black people who loved Larry Bird and there were plenty of white people who loved Magic, right? But the league then grew in the early 80s because of that. And then what was born out of that? Michael Jordan. And he took it to the stratosphere. So the point is, if you care about basketball, you care about the sport, you should want the best people to be out there, and you shouldn't be like, I want to take out that one because she is of that skin color. Anyway, here's Fox's Kevin Corke saying that nobody is going to watch the WNBA if they don't get rid of this racist nonsense.
They've taken it too far. A couple things. First of all, if you're old enough to remember the old Magic Johnson, Larry Bird rivalry, this could be great for the sport to sort of have two good teams, two great players. But I think Reese really has enmity toward this person, and I don't understand why. I think Caitlin Clark has been great for the sport. And if they keep this up, Joey, here's what's going to happen. Players like Reese don't understand. You are killing the game for non-fans. So I'm talking about people just, basketball. Caitlin Clark, I recognize her. Angel Reese, I recognize her. But if you keep taking shots, nobody's going to want to watch that product, and that's the real danger.
Right. Nobody's going to want to watch the product because, what do I always say? Wokeism destroys everything. It's like the alien in the Alien movies. It infects the host, and then it bursts out of their stomach, and goo goes everywhere, and it kills everybody on the ship. The globalists never stop. Now they're pushing airborne vaccines. No needles, no permission, just exposure. The last administration quietly funded grants for aerosol vaccines, a delivery system that could infect us without consent. Watch this. Millions were forced into the mRNA psyop, and cases of myocarditis, blood clots, and immune damage have skyrocketed. 8 states are in the process of banning these shots. The Trump administration needs to make sure this tyranny hasn't been released on the public. Dr. Peter McCullough and the wellness company created Ultimate Spike Detox with 4 times the nattokinase plus bromelain and curcumin to help break down spike proteins and support your body's natural recovery. Experience the only formula approved and used by Dr. Peter McCullough, a top freedom-fighting cardiologist who risked it all. So head over to twc.health/Rubin and use code Rubin to get 15% off plus free shipping. Again, that's twc.health/Rubin and use code Rubin to get 15% off plus free shipping. Get back to that pre-COVID feeling.